Hey everybody, welcome to your logo design project. I hope you, number one, saw some really nice helpful links to kind of prepare you for this, kind of read through that material about logos, and as you build. In this tutorial video, we'll kind of just talk a little bit more about logos, and then we're going to set you free to jump in right on the logo design themselves. So firstly, I just want to show you a couple things. Just in your logos, and really great logos have interesting uses of positive and negative space. So here in this plane image, the positive space is going to be the plane, and the negative space is going to be the blue around the plane. So you can see here the black demonstrates the positive space, white negative space. The reason I'm talking about this is because in a logo, you can hide things in the positive and negative space. So the R is then obviously has a P inside of it for Peter Ryan. The P with kind of the shadow creates the R in the background. The next kind of just one more tutorial is here. Again, the faces are the positive space, but then in the negative space, you see this vase creation. So the vase and the faces are kind of playing between the positive and negative spaces. One last one with the toucan. Positive space is the toucan. The white is then flipped to be the positive space in this one. So how can you use that as an artist? Well, there's an artist right here that I think does an exceptional job with playing that. So imagine you are given the task of kind of representing addiction, and you can see here that the bottle is the positive space, but then he flips it, and then the bottle is actually the negative space around this person climbing. So it plays with these two things. Again, they're kind of playing with positive and negative space and having someone interact with it. And you can see what that would then look like on an actual magazine. So as a designer, you have this power to kind of figure out, what these things could look like. So there's a lot of different examples of how this person's done that. Here is one that is playing to the superhero world. So Tony Stark, image of him, and then on the bottom in his beard is actually Iron Man. And again, in the hairline, we see the Queen. Um, yeah, a whole bunch of different options here, kind of playing with positive and negative space and how these things can have a different sort of relationship as you are designing and creating these images. So what you're going to be doing, and why I'm talking about positive and negative space, is you are going to be asked to make your own logo. So as we look at logos, how do they use positive and negative space? Well, this gear or this wrench becomes a house for a property management company. This bunny that shows speed also has a heart to kind of show the relationship. The key has a city. The plunger hidden inside of the person who is there for plumbing. Um, these are actually just floating shapes, but it actually says brand union, and it's pretty easy to read, even though they're just some random floating shapes. Egg and a spoon. Well, there's an egg with an E on a spoon. There's a lot of different ones here that are kind of fun. So as you're looking through these, well, sync it, right? Maybe this is what you wanted to do. Well, how could you play with that? So draw out a bunch of sketches and come up with an idea for how you can kind of play with this logo of like a ball going into a hole. There's just a million different options if you do it. The probably most famous one is the FedEx one, where there's an arrow pointing forward in the E and the X, because what does FedEx do? They move things forward. So FedEx, if you ever see FedEx truck, look for that or Google it right now. It's kind of fun. All right, so I'm excited for you to get into your logos. So you're going to be creating your personal logo. Now, this could be for a made-up company. Now, you could just use letters of your name or your name in general. You could use a business you want to create, or maybe a band name that you wanted to come up with. This could be for an existing business and you're just creating a new logo for it. Like, let's say your parents do a business on the side, you can make a logo for them. Or let's say you wanted to start a business of cutting grass this summer. Make your own logo. You're going to look legit. People will pay you more money, and I appreciate that. So good luck making it a memorable logo. Think simple, think negative space, and good luck making your logo in in Pixlr, or I guess you could try out Vector if you wanted, but Pixlr is probably going to be where you make it with those shape tools. All right, have a great day. I think I will just do a quick demonstration with Pixlr, just how to use the shape tools, just so that we're on the same page. I don't want to have you feel like you're not prepared. So you could even bring in a sketch of something. So let's just do this. So let's say you wanted to bring in a sketch from some image that you took of your sketchbook. Well, you have a bunch of different ways to make shapes. So you can either like use this kind of a tool, like the shape tool, and make the selection and then fill that selection on a different layer. So I'd always say each shape you make, put it on a different layer. So then if you used your fill bucket, you could fill in that selection and go from there. So that's one way to make a shape. Or there is a couple different tools that you could use, like the pen tool here, or the paintbrush tool, or another one that is a good use of your time would be the shapes tool. So that if you were to go down here, you can start with basic shapes, and work from those shapes. And you can see here, you can choose different shapes. There's probably even more. And then you can kind of play with it. There's a bunch of different kind of styles, and there's different ways you can fill them. So you can fill it with a gradient or something like that. But I hope that you get a good chance to play around with the shapes tool, the drawing tools, the pen tool, and create a logo that is memorable. All right, thanks.